Yet another turning point in the Gyanvapi case. 31 years since the prayers were brought to a halt, the Mandir side today got the right to resume puja inside Vyasji ka Tehkana, which is a basement in the southern end of Gyanvapi. It is one of the 4 cellars under the Gyanvapi mosque. Why is this judgment so important? Firstly, because in the next 7 days, which is in a week from now, Hindu devotees will start offering prayers to Lord Shiva after over 3 decades of waiting for it. Secondly, this tehkana or a cellar was locked in the year 1993 under Mulayam Singh Yadav's rule in the state. Even when priest Somnath Vyas of the Vyas family claims was still offering prayers in this place. Thirdly, this cellar is cellar S2 that was mentioned in the detailed ASI survey report that Times Now showed you threadbare, the same cellar where idols of Hindu deities were found buried by ASI experts. Now, my colleague Sagarika joins us for detailed explanation of 18 exclusive pictures that Times Now accessed of what was found by the surveyors in Vyasji ka Tehkana.
Okay, so Priya, before I show you the pictures, these 18 pictures that we've accessed today, where in the next 7 days, prayers, Hindu side or Hindu devotees can offer their prayers. Let me tell you about this suit. Now, this suit was filed by Shailendra Kumar Pathak Vyas against the Anjuman Intizamiya Masjid Committee that manages the mosque so far. Now, what was the order has been given by District Court Judge A.K. Vishwesh. Now, what does the order say and why is this important? Because this cellar and the ownership of which is still by the Vyas family, the family of a priest, where these prayers were being offered till the year 1993. Now, let's come to the pictures. The first picture that we have here on our screens is a picture of the basement, and I don't know if you can see it clearly, but this is a picture of the basement where dumping material was put. Some cleaning was ordered, after which, in the second picture you can see, after the dumping material was removed from here, this is picture number 2 of cellar S2. Again, cellar S2, if you remember, the mention in the ASI report where the ASI clearly said that idols of Hindu deities were buried in cellar S2, and cellar S2 is Vyasji ka Tehkana, where till the year 1993 prayers were being offered. In the year 1993, on oral orders given to the district administration, this Tehkana or this cellar where prayers were being offered was locked. Now, this is a picture of the cellar where the dump is taken out. Now, let's look at cellar. This is another picture which shows how it looks clear after the area or the Tehkana was cleaned. But let me get you to one of the important pictures, or once again, which establishes that how. Okay, now look at this. This inscription, previously we showed you, was about Mahamukti Mandape. In ancient Hindu texts, Mahamukti Mandape establishes that this place is Shiva's abode. Those inscriptions, similar inscriptions in Sanskrit and Nagari script found in Vyasji ka Tehkana. Let's go to picture number, one of the most, I've zoomed it in. This is a swastika on the pillar of cellar S2 or Vyasji ka Tehkana where prayers can begin. Now let's show you the next picture. Okay, so these are the pictures you found, and also let me tell you, today, earlier when we decoded the ASI report, we showed you pictures of Ganesha, 15 shivlings, idols of deities that were found inside Gyanvapi. Where were they found? They were found inside cellar S2, and this is exactly where prayers will begin. The district administration, as per the court, has been now asked to facilitate prayers in the next 7 days, where devotees can go and now once again offer prayers.
And the truth will now be uncovered, is now being uncovered one bit at a time. Thank you, Sagarika, for joining us with those details. My colleague Akanksha, who had accessed those images first and exclusive for Times Now, is joining us on the broadcast. Akanksha, now 7 days have been given to the administration to ensure that prayers resume. What kind of preparations are on?
Well, absolutely. Firstly, this order holds a lot of importance because this is the first time that the Hindu devotees will be able to offer prayer inside the mosque, the basement, which is called as Vyasji ka Tehkana. And now, as far as the arrangements are concerned, district administration has been handed over this responsibility to take care of the arrangements. The Kashi Vishwanath Trust will appoint a priest, and we also spoke to the lawyer, and he said that all the idols that were recovered from the basement will be brought back and kept there, and that is when the prayer prayers will happen. As far as the idols are concerned, Times Now is the first channel to access the images of those idols which have been recovered from that specific area, that is Vyas Ji Ka Tehkana. 8 Shivlings, 2 Vishnu, 2 Hanuman, 2 Krishna and Ganesha idols have been recovered. There's a slab with Ram written on it, engraving of swastika on the wall. So a lot of idols, sculptures were recovered from this basement. So it remains to be seen what happens in the next 1 week. But as per the order, arrangements will be made by the district administration and the Kashi Vishwanath Trust. They will appoint a priest, and the priest will then conduct the prayer in that basement. It remains to be seen whether who will be in fact allowed inside that basement for the prayers, whether other devotees will be allowed inside or not.
All right. Thank you, Akansha, for joining us with those inputs. Clearly, a groundbreaking development there for the Mandir side in this case. I'm now joined by my guest, Rahul Ishwar, who is an activist and advocate, Ahmed Ayaz, a political analyst. Rahul Ishwar, to you first. 31 years it has been since last prayers were offered, although the other side has contested this, saying that no such thing was happening. Finally, the doors will be opened for the Hindu devotees in the Tehkana to offer prayers.
Absolutely. This is a very important step. I don't think anybody will dispute the importance and the gravity of this particular step. I know if somebody has a problem, they can definitely take the legal route of challenging it. But many devotees have waited decades for this development to happen. Let us be open and honest about it. And on the larger point too, to Ahmed Saab and the others, I would humbly submit that there are some contentious places where we need to talk, as mature individuals. It was Somanath, it was Ramajanmabhoomi, it is Ayodhya and Kashi. There are some spaces that need to be talked about. No, I don't think anybody in their right mind will say 40,000 places we have to talk. But there are some places which needs to be spoken about. Talk like brothers. Find some kind of consensus. I believe we are going in that direction. I hope our Muslim community brothers will also see to the point that there is an element of reasonably in it, by the words of people like Sri K.K. Muhammad, who have continuously told about this. There has been some historic destruction of temples. That's a matter of reality that everyone will disagree. But we cannot take revenge on history. That's also a fact. That's the reason why we have to find a middle ground. We have to find a consensus. We have to find a common space of agreement. I hope that agreement will emerge.
All right. Advocate Ahmed Ayaz, do you think reconciliation is the only way ahead now that evidence after evidence is going against the mosque side, whether it is the Gyanvapi survey or the recovery of deities images like Sri Ram on the walls, and now court verdicts after court verdict?
Say, there's no difficulty in any reconciliation on any issue, including this also. There's no point. One cannot talk about it. I think that's not wrong. The point is, there has been a claim that temples have been demolished in the previously, long back, and then thereafter the mosques were constructed. That was wrongfully being taken. So far as Babri Masjid and some of the issues are coming up. And then in this case, it's coming up that after 30th year or so, this is being again these Hindus are being allowed to pray inside when it was discontinued 1731. But the point is, these issues have been discussed earlier once for all to see that it comes to an end, and it does not reopen, it does not engage Muslims and Hindus on Madhar Masjid issues in future. So now that it's 30th year back, it was said that it's not permissible for Hindus to get into the mosque area. And then
so that was because of law and order situation. That and that was a verbal order. It wasn't even given in writing. Nobody said that the Hindus do not have claim to worship here. It was a verbal order as far as our knowledge is concerned. That was given by Mulayam Singh administration, given in mind the post Babri Masjid law and order situation that stopped the prayers.
Okay, it is not law and order only, but it was said that it is a Muslim appeasement policy. That also was being said. And also, if you say that it was a law and order problem, how is that law and order has is not a bad today, is that so good.
Sir, it depends from administration to administration. Maybe Mulayam Singh Yadav had his own reasons to think that he could not manage the situation, and now the regime has changed. But Rahul Ishwar, you wanted to counter the claims. Rahul Ishwar, quickly.
Just one submission too. This is a court order too. So we have to understand every administration, based on the intelligence they receive, inputs they receive, they decide on such things. So we should be open towards that. And being a very open Hindu, proud Hindu, my humble submission would be, let us talk regarding these space, whether it is Kashi, whether it is Mathura. Let us have an honest and open conversation. Let us not shy away in the name of anything, because these are Janmasthans or sacred places associated with a very particular thing. Yes, it cannot go ad infinitum. Nobody is disagreeing with that. But we need a reasonable middle ground, and I hope our Muslim community brothers will see the wisdom of the moderates in agreeing for such a discussion.
Mr. Ayaz.
You have to go by the Constitution, and there's a law passed. There's a law enacted which is known as the Religious Places Act, holding the position of religious places as it existed in 1947. Why? Because it was thought that in case we don't pass an order and put an end to it, it will be a Pandora box, it will be every time an issue. So that means you are fickle to engage people on these issues, and you don't want to end it as it has been done. So why do you want to reopen?
So that law in itself is currently under challenge in the highest court of the land as well. One will wait to see what is the verdict going to be. But so far, we've seen that the Hindu side has come armed with evidence that has gone in their favor in all the courts of law, beginning from district courts to the AP.